One of the classics of ancient astronaut and ancient alien theory is the theory of the Anunnaki, who according to Zecharia Sitchin, came from a planet named Nibiru. These ancient alien beings colonized the Earth supposedly 450,000 years ago to mine gold, sending workers from their home planet to Earth to work in the mines. But this Anunnaki workforce complained about the terrible working conditions, and so the Anunnaki leaders decided to create a more pliant workforce by hybridizing the primitive species of man then present, the Homo erectus, with the Anunnaki workers to create man, Homo Sapiens. This story was supposedly written down on Sumerian and Akkadian clay tablets and translated by Zecharia Sitchin. Responses to this translation have invariably been twofold: either unreserved acceptance as the true history of our species and of our origin for the believers, or complete rejection by the skeptics. But what if this truth is somewhere in between? What if Sitchin was correct about the plot, but wrong about the characters? That is, what if the Anunnaki were actually human beings from an advanced civilization, not from another planet, but from another continent across a vast ocean? Sitchin claims that the Sumerians and Akkadians believed the Anunnaki to be gods. But this is precisely how Cortez and the Spanish conquistadors were received by the Aztecs. Sitchin claims that the Anunnaki workers rebelled against their abhorrent working conditions. But this is precisely what the English indentured servants who crossed the oceans to settle the New World did in response to their working conditions, which resembled a temporary form of slavery, and which motivated the planters to find a substitute workforce that ended up being African slaves. Sitchin claims that the Anunnaki created a new race of hybrids from the alien workforce and primitive man. Yet this is precisely what happened when the Spanish colonized the New World, whose colonists and the native inhabitants of the Americas created a new hybrid race, so to speak, who are the Hispanics of today. Sitchin claimed that the Anunnaki came to Earth to find gold. Yet this is exactly what the Spanish conquistadors came to the Americas for. Ultimately, every element of Sitchin's story is present in the history of the colonization of the New World, which we know is a story whose protagonists were humans made of flesh and blood, and were not gods, as the Aztecs mistakenly believed. What are the chances that aliens would have exactly the same motivations and desires and responses to problems that they encountered upon reaching Earth that actual human beings did during the discovery and colonization of the New World? These aliens, these so-called aliens and the Anunnaki, seem all too human. There is a story about a godlike people who once ruled the earth and the seas, a civilization that we today remember as Atlantis, whose people colonized the earth over 10,000 years ago, before perishing in a terrible cataclysm. Perhaps the Anunnaki and the Atlanteans were one and the same people, human beings mistaken for gods. And perhaps Sitchin was neither wholly right nor wrong, but was correct about the plot, but mistaken regarding its characters.